Hello again, back again. I've just been behind the scenes, busy fiddling around and putting it all together. I've got the felt which I want to make into leaves, which I'll put along here. I'll show you, this is what I meant by, hopefully you can see that it's not going to glare. It's got the felt and then you sort of do it like a stem stitch and then you stick over the top of that. So that's what I'll be doing in that part. That's just on Pinterest. So there you go. And I've got my thing of different colour threads. So what I'm going to do today, I've taken a photo of how I want this. I'll just sit down now. And I've got my trusty A to Z embroidery stitch books from the Publications of Inspiration. So you get yourself a good book that shows you all your different embroidery stitches, which is pretty much what slow stitching is. So I've got that awesome book. So I've just gotten bits and pieces, just a little bit of that hiding underneath, bit of lace. That's up there. This was a bit from a bit of fabric and I thought he just sat really cute, and I'll just put it around. I'm going to stitch that on there like that. That on the bottom. I've got this, which the colour goes really well, but that might be something that I put on when I actually have, if I put it on a journal cover or something. Some vintage lace, which I'm doing here. The leaf thing I'm going to go along here, and then I'm going to just do some flowers and embroidery, all that kind of stuff on here. That's why I've left that fairly open. I was going to put that over the top and then just have that as like layers, but I quite like that little bit sticking over there, so I'll still have layers. But here's the other piece to show you. Here's the other bit of that, and I thought that would look really good just here, and that would make like the label, so I can put something on there, journal, nature, whatever you want to put on there. And that little guy up there, I'm going to be stitching around this and maybe highlighting some of the little bits on there. So it's not a quick process, that's why it's called slow stitching. So I've gotten some bits of lace. So what I will do, this little part here that I just showed you, that'll probably be one of the last bits that I do, and I'll probably re-show you that picture again. But for now, I've got, you can use embroidery thread, but I've got this, I think it must be, what's it called, crochet thread or whatever. So I can use embroidery thread, but this is nice and thick, so I only need one thread. So what I'm going to be doing for now is actually doing the slow stitching part where I stitch everything on. So I've taken a photo, so this will get put on after. Same with that. I need to probably stitch, just trying to figure out the bits that I need to stitch on first. When you've got something like this that stripes, it's going to be a little bit easier. Like that. It's more plainer on the back, hasn't got the silvery bits, but I quite like that. Okay, now that'll go on the top. That could probably even go on later. So these are the main bits that we need to stitch on. Now, where's my pin? I'll just do a quick running stitch with the base, and you do a little bit more elaborate stuff a bit later on. When it's something like this, I could probably even follow the stitch of the actual thing, so I may do that, stick that in the middle, and use this one, the brown. Quite like the brown. Now with slow stitching, unlike quilting, you actually don't, you just do it onto fabric, and that was one thing I really struggled. Excuse the noise in the background, it's actually quite a warm day today, so I've got the air conditioning on. I'll probably turn that off a little bit later. So like my other stitching thing, this will be a bit of a slow process, but that's just how it goes. I think the thing I do really need to sew on first, maybe this. Now do I want, I think I might go 2 threads. Okay. Oop. Okay. Ugh. That's why having something like this is actually rather... Oh! Just thread it. Come on, Dad. Yes, if you remember my last video, I wasn't that gracious doing that either. There we go. Alright. Now. Oop. Okay. I may have to do that one first and then do that one. Don't worry about that. Here we go. I'll do this one first. So what we do, all that effort, and I'll start with something else because that's tucked underneath, and then that one's going to be on top. So you got to figure out what is where. Let me scissors. I like to have a long bit, even though it is annoying when it's a long bit. At least you don't have to rethread a bit later on. Okay, make sure you put a knot in it. And I'll probably take that off. That colour can stick there. So what we're going to do with this is, I reckon we will follow the line of this. To be honest, go back down again. I've got to know the difference. Okay. And actually probably use the spine or whatever it is of the leaves as a guide, and might knot it up, which does happen. So, I know. Yep. Good grief. I just started and I'm already stuffing up. Okay. Okay. Just up, down, following along the curves. Hopefully I am high enough. So this is actually the well, not so much the boring bit, because I do enjoy it. The bit that you need to be, oh, see, this is what happens when you have a bit of string that is way too long. It does tend to do this. And so you've got your little, that's how you do the stitches on the bottom there. Can't really see it on there, but it's just holding it together. There we go. So you can have it as close together or as far apart as you like. That's like I stated in the other one. So this isn't anything new, this is just the extra part of the you know, what I need to do for now. So you've already learnt all this extra part, and so the new stuff will be probably, you know, embroidering these on there and all that kind of stuff. So I will turn this off. You've got the idea, you know, just doing a little running stitch like that, and stitch, you know, stitch this down. So I'll pause that, and then I'll come back when I've got something else that I need to do, because this is something you can do off camera, and I did similar to the other one. So I'll be back. See, it's already 10 minutes. Okay, back again. I've stitched all this. I got rid of this. It is annoying. My phone was ringing. I just had to tickle on it. Yeah, so I just got the DMC thread, 2 DMC. So obviously you don't use it. Use the DMC thread. So I've stitched it along there, and then I thought, well, that's got to go on there anyway. So what I'm going to do is just stitch in that colour, because it's the same colour, along there. So so it gives it sort of almost like a little bit of a quilty look without it being that. And I'll just stitch this down. Okay, pin. So just do a running stitch which will hold this down as well as that other fabric down too, if you know what I mean. Like, needs to hold this one down underneath and that one, so it should go through 3 layers. So that's just to hold it into place, and that's how you do like your cover ends, by doing this sort of thing. I figured since I had this colour anyway, and what you got to realise too, you always make things a little bit bigger, because they always pull in with the running stitch. That's just how it is. And then yeah, that other this thread just didn't seem to work very well. So obviously embroidery thread is made for embroidery, and that just using that to sew in signatures. That's what I initially got that for, or if you do crochet, which I don't. And see, it's quite thick because it's a doily, but it's okay. So I'm doing it a little bit slower than what I normally would, because I've got to go through 3 layers. Yeah, so that's, you just stitch as you go along. See, oh, I've moved it, and it is now not on there, but that's okay. It's all good. That's going to be held down anyway. No mistakes, as they say. Now, what I'm going to do here, I think I did this last time, pull that over, stitch that down, because I haven't finished using this thread, you just pull it back up through and have it out of the way, if you know what I mean. There we go. Now, what we are wanting to do now, I think, is this bit. That's underneath. Pin that out of the way for a second. Okay. Hopefully I'm in camera. And then I'll go over the top of that. to go underneath that, so I might fold that up. Okay. Now this one, I was thinking of using the brown. Where's my brown thread? Already done it. Good grief. Yeah, well, use this needle. I'll probably find it later, but I'll that is so annoying. Oh well, there we go. This has got 2 threads, I think. Yep. I'll find it when the camera's off. The reason why I keep going and I just pause because I'm not the editor. I just don't really do editing, so I just have to stitch and sew and just pause it when I want to do something. So this stage, all we're doing is putting on the layers. So going from underneath, just hold that down. When it's something that's stripy, it actually works out okay. Put it away. Jaw's got to be on your feet. Now, I'm sure it's around somewhere. There we go. So, I don't know if you can see that. See how it's got just going to have really big stitches, but that's okay. And it is going to be basically holding it down. So it'll be done nice and quick. Oh, here we go. See, it's underneath it. Found it. Careful. And so that adds another dimension to it as well. And so just enough that it's over the top of that. Nothing too flash. Gives you a bit of a guideline on what to do. So I'll go up from there. I have to sit down just to make sure that I'm over the top. Here we go. There we go. Yep. It's always so much more nerve-wracking when the camera is on. Starting to fray a little bit. There we go. I might grab a pin and pin this down. I don't want it moving, and it's so easy to move. Okay. Nice and simple, really big stitches. Up, down, up, down, up. When you go into those bits, you just got to guess. But on these ones, it's really easy. You just go the size of the stitch. Real primitive style of stitching, and the quilter in me and the embroiderer in me is like, oh. I think I said that in the last video. It's like, oh. Okay. I'll just give it a bit of a pull every now and again. this is pretty well basically this part of it. And then so I'll probably have enough to do 2 parts. Okay, and just go underneath, going back on top. And do the same again. It's only a real basic holding it down. Yep. There we go. Be careful not to drag up everything. And you'll have these little bits which are okay because they're the end. Okay. I was always amazed that this was such a popular video because for me, I just think, how boring is it to sit and watch someone stitch? I had one comment actually on there. It's as exciting as watching grass grow, and part of me actually agreed with them. But it's good to get. I enjoy doing it. Don't know about watching it. That's why I don't want to be getting you to watch too much of this when we learn something else and do a next step. So I will continue to do that. If you want to do a different stitch, you're more than welcome, because it's already got the basic guideline of where it's going to go. You work with it, and see on here, I'm just gonna I might do a fairly close together stitch going up in here, and then there you go back down here. Actually, probably take that out. See how that goes over the top of that. And then I'll, stitch that down, and I'll have to put. That's why I didn't go all the way there, because this needs to go in here. You see, so you've got to be really careful of. So that's got to go there. So this is the basic. Do the layers first, and then we do more of the exciting stuff once this is on. So it'll be a little while, and once again, like the other video, took me ages, but next video, voila, it's there. So yeah, this is so cute. Okay guys, I will catch you in the next video. So basically I'm just going to do the back stitching. It's already 23 minutes. Give you a bit of an idea. You can sort of see, actually probably on the back. See, it doesn't look too glamorous. There's that stitching and then that, but it doesn't matter. That's fine. It always looks beautiful when it's done. Okay guys, I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.